Ever feel like you and your partner are speaking different languages when it comes to love? Sarah craves comforting words and a hug after a tough day, needing to hear, "I'm here for you." Mark, meanwhile, fixes her car, believing his actions say, "I love you." Both are expressing love, just in different ways, words versus actions. The real issue isn't a lack of love, but a lack of translation between these love languages. Let's explore how to bridge this gap and truly understand each other's unique love signatures. Why do couples often miss each other's signals? It's not about loving more or less, but about different love dialects. Some, like Sarah, need words of affirmation. Others, like Mark, show love through actions. When we measure love only by our own standards, we miss the full picture. Men may feel unappreciated for their actions, while women may feel emotionally neglected. The key is to recognize and value all forms of love, not just the ones we're used to. The journey begins when we learn to appreciate our partner's unique language of love. Building a bridge between hearts starts with empathy and understanding. Biology and society shape how we express love. Women often seek connection through words, men through actions. Our brains and upbringing wire us differently, but neither way is wrong. Social scripts teach boys to act, girls to share. These patterns run deep. Instead of asking, "Why aren't you more like me?" ask, "Can you help me understand you better?" Understanding these roots helps us connect beyond our differences. Mark's love is action, fixing, providing, protecting. Many men express devotion through practical support, not grand declarations. These acts, though quiet, are powerful love letters written in service. When unnoticed, these efforts can create distance and hurt. Expanding our definition of romance to include these actions helps us see love in new ways. Let's learn to recognize the affection in everyday deeds. For Sarah, love is spoken. Words are her connection and comfort. Many women bond through conversation and emotional sharing. Words are their love language. Without verbal affirmation, even the most caring actions can feel empty. Emotional connection needs a voice, words that nurture and reassure. A relationship thrives when both actions and words are valued and exchanged. Love needs both hands and heart, spoken and shown, to truly flourish. His way versus her way. Two valid definitions of love shaped by biology, psychology, and experience. For many men, love means providing and protecting. For many women, it's about connection and emotional sharing. Neither is right or wrong. Understanding these differences helps us bridge the gap and truly see each other. The core misunderstanding in relationships is assuming our way of loving is universal. We measure love differently. One values connection, the other, acts of service. It's like using a ruler to measure temperature. To truly connect, we must learn each other's language of love, not judge, but understand and appreciate. To truly understand why men and women often express love in different ways, we must first look beneath the surface, deep into our own biology. Our emotions and behaviors are powerfully influenced by a complex cocktail of hormones that flow through our bodies. Two of the most significant players in this story are oxytocin and testosterone. Think of them as two choreographers directing a dance, each with a very different style. While both men and women have both hormones, the dominant levels are different, and this difference nudges us toward distinct ways of bonding and expressing affection. It's not about being controlled by our biology, but about understanding the natural currents that guide our instincts. Oxytocin is often famously called the cuddle hormone or the bonding hormone, and for good reason. It is a key ingredient in creating feelings of trust, empathy, and connection. In women, oxytocin levels tend to be higher and play a crucial role in childbirth, nursing, and mother-infant bonding. This hormonal reality often primes women to seek and build relationships through emotional closeness, verbal sharing, and nurturing behaviors. When a woman engages in a heartfelt conversation, shares a hug, or feels emotionally understood, her brain releases a surge of oxytocin, reinforcing these behaviors and making her feel safe, secure, and deeply in love. This creates a natural inclination toward the very things Sarah was yearning for: connection and verbal intimacy. On the other side of this hormonal dance is testosterone. Primarily known as the male sex hormone, testosterone is linked to traits like competition, assertiveness, risk-taking, and a drive for status and action. In men, higher levels of this hormone can naturally steer their focus toward problem-solving, protecting, and providing. When a man sees a challenge or a problem that affects his loved ones, his testosterone-driven instincts can kick in, compelling him to take action. For him, successfully fixing a problem or providing for his family can create a profound sense of accomplishment and purpose, which is his biological way of contributing to the relationship and demonstrating his value and love. This hormonal difference helps explain the classic scenario of Mark and Sarah. Sarah's oxytocin-rich system seeks connection through talking and empathy. Mark's testosterone-influenced system pushes him to demonstrate love through decisive, protective action. He doesn't just want to talk about the problem with the car, he wants to conquer it for her. This doesn't mean men are incapable of empathy or that women are incapable of action. It simply means our biological starting points are different. Understanding this hormonal dance allows us to replace judgment with curiosity, recognizing that our partner's instincts for love may be choreographed by a different but equally valid biological rhythm. Beyond the chemical messengers of hormones, the very structure and wiring of our brains also contribute to our different approaches to love. Think of the male and female brain as two houses built from slightly different blueprints. Both are fully functional and capable of great things, but their layouts are distinct, leading to different traffic patterns for thoughts and emotions. Neuroscientific research has revealed subtle but significant differences in how male and female brains are structured and how they process information, particularly when it comes to emotion and language. These differences are not about one being better, but about specialization that leads to different strengths. Studies using brain imaging technology like functional MRI scans have shown that women often exhibit more activity across both hemispheres of the brain when processing emotions. Furthermore, women tend to have a larger and more active limbic system, which is the emotional center of the brain. This can make them more naturally attuned to emotional nuances and more fluent in expressing their own feelings. The connections between their emotional centers and their language centers are often more robust. This neurological wiring makes it more natural for many women to do exactly what they are often encouraged to do: talk about their feelings, connect verbally, and seek emotional intimacy through conversation. In contrast, the male brain is often more compartmentalized, with stronger connections within each hemisphere rather than between them. When processing experiences, men's brains frequently show more activity in the visual and action-oriented parts, like the parietal lobe and the cerebellum, which are involved in spatial perception and motor control. This can lead to a more task-oriented approach to emotional situations. When faced with a partner's distress, a man's brain may quickly shift into a search and solve mode, focusing on the external problem rather than the internal feeling. This is his brain's most efficient pathway: see the problem, analyze it, and execute a physical solution. This difference in brain architecture provides a neurological basis for the behaviors we see in couples like Mark and Sarah. Sarah's brain is beautifully equipped to process and articulate the emotional texture of her day, and she seeks a partner who can engage on that level. Mark's brain is expertly wired to see her stress as a problem that requires a tangible solution, leading him straight to the garage and the faulty car engine. He is not being insensitive. He is operating from his brain's default, most efficient blueprint for showing care. Recognizing these different neural blueprints is a crucial step in appreciating that our partner is not being difficult, but is simply navigating the world with a different internal map. We learn to love through a mix of biology and social scripts. From birth, we're taught what it means to be a man or woman. Boys praised for strength and action, girls for empathy and connection. These roles shape how we show love, but understanding them lets us love more freely and authentically. A man's protector and provider instinct is deeply rooted, shaped by biology and society. For many, ensuring safety, security, and stability for loved ones is a core purpose. His love is shown through action, working hard, solving problems, and building a fortress of care. This is his most tangible expression of devotion. A woman's nurturer and connector instinct is shaped by both biology and society. She creates emotional warmth, notices subtle shifts in mood, and keeps relationships thriving through empathy and connection. For her, love means sharing feelings and building bridges. Conversation is her way of tending to the relationship and keeping intimacy alive. Her desire to talk is not criticism, it's an invitation to connect and keep love strong. So, what is the final verdict? Are our different styles of loving dictated by our biology or by our upbringing? The reality is that it is not an either-or question. Nature and nurture are not opponents in a battle. They are partners in a dance, working together to shape who we are and how we love. Our biological predispositions, our hormones and brain wiring, provide the initial sketch, the raw potential. They create natural inclinations and tendencies. Nature might hand a man a blueprint that favors action and a woman one that favors communication. However, it is nurture, our social conditioning, our life experiences, our family dynamics, and our conscious choices that picks up the colored pencils and fills in that sketch. Society can either exaggerate these biological tendencies or it can soften them. A boy who is naturally action-oriented can be taught by his environment that this is the only acceptable way for him to be, thus suppressing his capacity for emotional expression. Similarly, a girl who is naturally communicative can be placed in a box that discourages her from being assertive or action-oriented. Our upbringing and culture provide the context that turns a predisposition into a deeply ingrained pattern of behavior. This partnership between nature and nurture is what creates the powerful, often unconscious instincts we have discussed. The protector-provider instinct in men is not just testosterone. It is testosterone amplified by generations of social expectation. The nurturer-connector instinct in women is not just oxytocin. It is oxytocin reinforced by a lifetime of being told that her value lies in her ability to care for others. These forces are so intertwined that it is nearly impossible to untangle them. They work together to create the default settings from which we operate in our relationships, explaining why these patterns are so common and so persistent. The most hopeful part of this understanding is that while nature and our past nurture are powerful, they are not our destiny. We are not just a product of our hormones and our history, we also have the power of conscious choice. By understanding these scientific and psychological forces, we are no longer slaves to them. We can see the script and choose to revise it. A man can learn to value and practice verbal connection, even if it doesn't come naturally. A woman can learn to see and appreciate her partner's acts of service as a profound language of love. This knowledge gives us the power to honor our natural tendencies while also stretching beyond them to meet our partner in the middle, building a love that is both authentic and adaptive. The 5 love languages developed by Dr. Gary Chapman offer a universal framework for understanding how we give and receive love. We each have a primary love language: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, or physical touch. Learning your partner's language transforms relationships, creating deeper connection and appreciation. Many men show love through acts of service, fixing things, helping out, or working hard for their families. Others connect deeply through physical touch, hugs, holding hands, or a gentle touch. For them, these actions are powerful expressions of care and connection, often speaking louder than words ever could. Many women feel most loved through words of affirmation and quality time. Compliments and heartfelt words make her feel cherished and secure. Quality time means undivided attention, being truly present together. These expressions affirm her value, making her feel truly loved and prioritized. The love language of receiving gifts isn't about materialism, it's about thoughtfulness. A simple gift becomes a tangible symbol of love, a reminder. I was thinking of you. It's not the cost, but the meaning and effort that matter. The right gift says you are known, remembered, and loved. And becoming bilingual in love means learning to speak your partner's love language, even if it's not your own. It's a conscious choice to step outside your comfort zone for your partner's happiness. Every effort to speak their language is an investment in your relationship, building a love that bridges any divide. When we view the differences between men and women through a spiritual lens, we move beyond mere biology and psychology into the realm of divine design. Many faith traditions, particularly Christianity, propose that our distinct masculine and feminine natures are not an accident of evolution, but a deliberate and beautiful creation by God. This perspective suggests that God, in His infinite wisdom, crafted men and women to be different yet complementary, designing their unique strengths to fit together like two pieces of an intricate puzzle. From this viewpoint, the differences in how we love are not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be explored, revealing a deeper truth about the nature of God Himself. This idea of a divine blueprint invites us to see our partners not as flawed individuals who need to be corrected, but as bearers of a unique aspect of God's image. If men are often wired for action, protection, and provision, a faith perspective might see this as reflecting God's own nature as a protector, a provider, and a fortress for His people. The male instinct to solve problems and create order can be seen as a small echo of God's creative power that brought order out of chaos. This reframes a man's action-oriented love from being merely a product of testosterone to being a sacred, God-given impulse to guard and sustain those he holds dear. Similarly, if women are often wired for nurturing, communication, and emotional connection, a spiritual lens sees this as a reflection of God's relational and compassionate character. The Bible describes God as a comforter, one who gathers His children as a hen gathers her chicks, and whose love is tender and intimate. A woman's deep desire for connection, her empathy, and her ability to foster emotional intimacy can be understood as a reflection of this nurturing aspect of the divine. Her yearning for shared feelings and verbal connection is not neediness, but a God-given drive to build the kind of intimate community that reflects the very fellowship within the Trinity. By viewing our differences in this light, we can approach our relationships with a renewed sense of reverence and purpose. The misunderstandings that arise from our different love styles are no longer just frustrating domestic disputes. They become opportunities for spiritual growth. They challenge us to love more deeply and selflessly, to appreciate the aspects of God's character that our partner reflects, and to see our marriage or relationship as a workshop where we are shaped to be more like our Creator. Our differences, therefore, are not a barrier to love, but the very material God uses to build a love that is stronger, richer, and more complete. Ephesians chapter 5 offers a powerful model for marriage. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, sacrificially and selflessly. Wives, respect your husbands, honoring their leadership. This divine design creates a beautiful synergy where love and respect reinforce each other, building unity and intimacy in a committed relationship. In God's design, a husband's love is shown through humble acts of service, putting his wife's needs first. A wife's respect, expressed through words and appreciation, fills his heart. Love and respect are two sides of the same coin, each inspiring the other, creating a beautiful interdependent partnership grounded in faith. Ultimately, a faith perspective elevates a relationship from a simple romantic arrangement to a partnership with a divine purpose. Marriage is not just about personal happiness, but about two people coming together to better reflect the image of God to the world. The unique strengths of men and women are not meant to create division, but to create a more complete and powerful unit. The man's strength in action and the woman's strength in connection, when joined together, create a team that is both strong and warm, both productive and nurturing. Their union is designed to be a living testimony of God's own multifaceted character. This sense of a shared higher purpose can be a powerful anchor during times of misunderstanding. When a couple is struggling with their different love styles, remembering that they are on the same team with a shared mission can help them put their frustrations into perspective. The goal is not to win the argument or to prove that one way of loving is superior. The goal is to learn how to work together more effectively to fulfill their joint purpose. This shifts the focus from me versus you to us versus the problem, fostering a spirit of collaboration rather than competition in their communication and efforts to connect. This divine purpose also gives meaning to the hard work of learning to love each other better. When a man stretches himself to become more verbally affirming, he is not just appeasing his wife, he is growing in his own spiritual character, developing the compassionate and communicative aspects of God's nature. When a woman stretches herself to appreciate her husband's acts of service, she is not just settling for less, she is developing a spirit of gratitude and learning to see God's provision in practical ways. Every effort to bridge the gap becomes an act of worship, a step toward becoming more whole and more Christ-like. Therefore, from a spiritual viewpoint, the journey of understanding how men and women love differently is a sacred one. It is a path that leads not only to a healthier relationship, but also to deeper personal faith. By embracing our God-given differences and learning to love each other selflessly, we participate in a divine plan. Our love story becomes part of a much larger story, one that points beyond ourselves to the God who is the author of love itself. Our partnership becomes a testament to the truth that two different, unique individuals can be brought together to create a unity that is beautiful, powerful, and truly divine. Gentlemen, understanding differences is just the start. True change comes when you act, especially if your partner's heart speaks in words and emotion. Practice expressing yourself, even if it feels awkward. Use your words to affirm her, simple, genuine, and consistent. Don't underestimate the power of I love you. Listen, connect, and share your feelings too. This effort builds a bridge to her heart, showing she's worth it. Ladies, just as you long for words and connection, your partner often shows love through action. When he fixes things, takes out the trash, or works hard for your comfort, see these as his love letters. Notice, appreciate, and thank him. This simple shift lets both your love languages shine, creating a home filled with mutual understanding and affection. Gratitude is the antidote to expectation. When we focus on what we're given, not what we lack, love grows. Adaptation is strength. Love is a dance of give and take. Build a unique language of love together, rooted in daily gratitude and a willingness to grow, and your relationship can weather any storm. Love isn't one language, it's a dialogue between two unique souls. Men and women often express love differently, through acts, touch, words, or time. The key isn't to change each other, but to learn and honor each other's language. That's how we build a partnership that's strong, warm, and truly complete. The final empowering truth is that love is not about cloning each other's styles. A truly vibrant relationship is not one where two people become identical, but one where two different people learn to dance together in harmony. It is about learning, adapting, and most importantly, appreciating the unique way your partner's heart was designed to connect with yours. The journey does not end here with this understanding. It begins. The real work happens in the small, daily choices you make to step outside your comfort zone, to speak a language that is foreign to you, and to listen with an open heart for a language you're just beginning to understand. It is a lifelong commitment to translation. For the men, this is your call to be brave with your words. It is your challenge to build not only a safe physical world for her, but a safe emotional one as well. Your strength is not diminished by vulnerability. It is completed by it. For the women, this is your call to see with new eyes. It is your challenge to find the romance in his service and the security in his silent strength. Your need for connection is not lessened by appreciating his actions. It is enriched by it. This mutual effort to meet in the middle is the ultimate expression of selfless love, a love that says, "Your happiness and feeling loved are more important to me than my own comfort." Let this be an encouragement to you. Your relationship is not broken because you experience love differently. In fact, you hold in your hands the potential for a love that is richer and more dynamic than you ever imagined. By embracing your different strengths, you create a partnership that is greater than the sum of its parts. You create a team that can face any of life's challenges with both practical strength and deep emotional connection. Your differences are not a liability. They are your superpower as a couple, designed to make you stronger together. So, go forward, not with frustration, but with curiosity and grace. Be patient with your partner and with yourself as you practice these new skills. Celebrate every small victory, every moment of successful translation, every time you see love where you did not see it before. Remember, the goal is not perfection, but connection. It is the ongoing, beautiful, and sometimes messy journey of two hearts learning to beat as one, bridging the divide day by day, choice by choice, to build a love that lasts a lifetime. The bridge is ours to build, and the work is worth it.